I'm here with Suzanne Frey, Director of Security, Trust, and Privacy at Google Cloud. She's responsible for ensuring we gain our customers' trust through extensive transparency, visibility, and controls. Suzanne, thanks for taking the time to be with us today.
Thank you.
So, why should businesses trust Google Cloud? What kind of commitments do we make that protects them?
Google was born in the cloud, and we've been cloud native since day one. Now, what does that mean? That means that we've thought about security and privacy and how we build and architect our data centers, servers, networks, devices, and applications. It's allowed us sort of to move at the speed of the world since day one and with respect to security and privacy threats. And I think that's super important for folks to understand. We have optimized for the cloud.
And how does that get reflected in the commitments we make?
Absolutely. So we put our money where our mouth is. We put all of our commitments to security and privacy in contract. These are binding documents, as you know, so that customers can feel comfortable knowing that we are committed to their security and privacy.
Now, the customers still know us very much as a consumer company. Strong brand, very strong consumer presence, and enterprise customers sometimes have a few questions around that. Can you give me some clarity on the differences and what exactly happens to enterprise data, for example?
So going back to the cloud native approach that we've taken, we've built a tremendous business. In fact, there's 7 businesses at Google with over 1 billion consumer users apiece. And just look at that track record standalone. We bring all of the power of that track record to our enterprise customers and even more. We talked about contracts, but we also, commit to not scanning your data for advertising. We commit that you can take your data with you. We commit that you have a right to understand where your data is being stored, and your IP will belong to you.
And earlier when I was talking with Dan and Renee, we talked about transparency because cloud relationships aren't like standard packaged enterprise software relationships. We don't sell and leave. We have to kind of earn it and win it on this rolling basis. And also keep people informed around new features, what's coming up in the product side. And they were saying that the change management and the training involved makes transparency very important and communications important. From Google's perspective, why is transparency important?
Well, you put yourself in the shoes of any CIO or CISO who's making a decision to move from on-premise to the cloud or even another cloud provider to ours. And you really have to understand, how am I going to know I am safe and secure? We believe we earn trust through transparency. Knowing what's happening to your data at any given time, super critical for earning that trust.
Security is a sense that you control your environment, right?
Yeah.
The transparency means you can see and control as much as possible.
True.
That's kind of the idea behind that, I guess. So finally, what are 3 things you'd like viewers to take from this session?
Well, we've touched on all 3 in some capacity. For example, pillar number 1 is compliance. We're committed to our customers' compliance. Examples being things like GDPR and FedRAMP. We have to be ahead of the curve with respect to global compliance regimes, and we recognize, our compliance is our customers' compliance. 2, we're committed to transparency, trust through transparency, and enabling customers to understand what we're doing with their data. And thirdly, we're committed to control. You are in control of your data. And not only with portability and things like that, but also the ability to turn off services or control the security of your devices or understand, which executives in your organization should have a security key and implement and enforce that at scale. So those are the 3 things: compliance, transparency, and control.
Suzanne, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.